All right, folks, today we are going to be talking about how to use the Desmos calculator to solve multi-step equations. We've spent probably about 3 weeks now learning how to do those equations by hand. And so now I want to offer you the calculator as a way to check your answer. All right, so what you're going to need to do first today is go to the Schoology page and open up our Desmos calculator. Remember, that lives right here, online calculator. So we'll click on that and click on the link to the Desmos calculator. And then from earlier in the year, you may remember I showed you how to minimize that calculator and then click it and drag it to one side of your screen. And I'm going to have to adjust mine a bit here, but you can make it fit into half of your screen. I have some examples here that I want to use with you. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing with them. I'm going to click and drag and put that on the other half of my screen so that I can see both. That's something you may want to do today as you're working on these problems. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to show you how to do this number one over here on the Desmos calculator. So you're going to click in this bar so that you get that cursor. And then don't forget that down here you have your keypad. So I'm going to click on that so that I can show the keypad. Now you'll notice right here is your variable x. If you need parentheses, those are here. You have all of your numbers so that you can type those in. And then your add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And then, of course, your equal sign is right here. All right, so I'm going to type this number one in over here on my calculator. So I'm going to do -3. And notice for the negative, I just used my subtraction sign. And then parentheses, x plus 9. Then get outside the parentheses and put plus 10x. And that's equal to a -34. You can also use your computer keyboard to type these in, of course, but you can also click on the screen, whichever is easiest for you. Now, what you'll notice here is that after I get that equation typed in, on my screen, I see this red line. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll come right here to where that line crosses the x-axis and click, and you'll notice that it gives me an ordered pair. I get -1 as my x value and then 0 as my y value. That x value that you see right there of -1 is the solution to this equation. So for equation number one that we see over here, the answer would be x equals a -1. X equals a -1. Simple as that. So you're looking for that line. You're looking for that line on your screen. All right, so let's come over here and let's delete that one. And let's try another one. Now, you'll notice that this equation number two uses the variable a instead of the variable x. You need to make sure when you're typing these equations into your calculator that you always use x as the variable. So even if the problem uses a different letter, you make sure and use x. So instead of typing in 8a, I'm going to type in 8x. I'm going to do minus and then parentheses. And then I'm going to do 5x plus 1. So everywhere I see that variable a, I'm going to use an x instead. All right, now I need to be outside the parentheses. That is equal to 8 minus, and then we need 2 parentheses, and then we're going to do x minus 3. Now, you'll notice, well, and I just hit delete, didn't I? So let me type that again real quick. 8x, technical difficulties, minus parentheses, 5x plus 1. I'm not doing too hot here. Plus 1 equals 8 minus 2 parentheses x minus 3. So good reminder for you there that just because you're getting to use the calculator, that doesn't mean that we don't have to be careful with this. Make sure as you're typing that you're typing very carefully. All right, so I see this green line here. That green line is going to help me get the solution to this equation. So I go right here and click on that dot where it's crossing the x-axis. And what I notice is I get 3, 0 as my ordered pair. That x value is what I'm interested in. So x is equal to 3 for this equation. So always, we're looking for where this vertical line that it draws is crossing the x-axis, and that will give us the solution. All right, let's do maybe one more here. Let's do this number 4. Now notice it uses the variable n, but when I type this into the calculator, I'm going to use an x. Always use x. So I'm going to do 3 parentheses, and then I'm going to do 5x minus 4. Now I need my equal sign, and then I'm going to do 8x plus 2. All right, so here's my line, my vertical line. Click right here where it crosses the x-axis, and I see that x is equal to 2. So for that equation, x is equal to 2. I do want to caution you about one thing. You'll notice that your x-axis over here on this graph only goes from -10 to +10. So to see the solution, you may need to move this around. So to move your graph around, notice that you just click and drag. You can drag it to the left, you can drag it to the right. So if you type one of these in and you can't see this line, then click and drag, and you'll be able to see it. Click and drag until you can is what you should do. So this is what you're going to be practicing today, and I do want you to use your calculator for all of these problems. So you will not need to show work today. Type your equation in up here, look for the vertical line on the graph. If it's not visible, then click and drag the graph around until it is visible. And then you're going to go right here where it's crossing the x-axis and click, and that will give you your solution. If you have any questions at all, please contact me with those. Your assignment is posted in today's Schoology folder.